Or maybe not. Hello?
All right then, they're lining up on the grid. I was just waiting for them to get in position. Are we gonna get a good camera angle? Yeah, we are. Ish, not really. Okay, yeah. So here we go then. Four lights, five red lights. Long hold, but it is lights out and away we go. And it looks like
Great start from
Tuman's
Tumen.
made a really good start. Kolka's got away slowly, and Riggsy's up to second now. So Kolka losing two positions straight off the bat as they go into turn one. We've got an Alpha Tauri going very wide there. I think that was Clock. Liam's gone down 3-4 positions there, so he's lost out as well. But it is Tuman from Riggsy. Kolka's
Jage
in
surrounding the
P3.
back. And he's
And
collected check and jib jab.
Mercedes round. Oh no. Oh, and Jake has got a drive through for his troubles as well.
I don't think there was much he could have done there. He kind of just lost the car and ended up, unfortunately, coming back onto the track. And he's lost it again at Dunlop. That'll be because his tyres have overheated. Checks them well to avoid him there. Check got really unlucky. He was just a passenger and all that, as was Jib Jab. Yeah, the top 13 after that all pretty close together. Morgan's AI is looking racy beyond Bunny.
Fortunately losing out for it. Yeah, Morgan's AI. Okay, so it is Tuman leading away from Riggsy. I'm just on board with Lewis, or I'm just following Lewis around. Sorry, I've gone on board with him now, as he's looking pretty close to the back of Liam. Brindy Boy, in fact, sorry, further ahead, is having a look at Bland. Is he going to go for it into the Casio Triangle? Has a look up the inside, and of course Lewis gets Liam as I'm looking at it, and Liam actually taps the back of Lewis there, and now Southerners has got the run down the back straight. Liam's had a dreadful start, unfortunately for him. He's lost a few positions already. Southerners down the inside into turn one. Are they going to get through? Gets on the curb, gets a bit loose. Lewis was losing it as well up ahead. Liam round the outside, so he defends his position really well there, does Liam. And he holds on to P7, P8, because Lewis is apparently 15th. Holds on to P8. So good defending there from Liam. And slightly unlucky from Southerners, just getting up on the curb. Not quite able to go for the move. Oh, Liam's in the lead. Look at that. Oh, now he's not.
Yeah, the time he's got
this. Who, what, where, when?
Yeah, I went on board with Tuman for the start, Harry, because I was expecting him to get a good start on the soft tyres, and his launch was just incredible compared to that of Kolka and Riggs as well. Both of them comfortably passed the pole sitter even before turn one. But Kolka's just got to be patient now, bide her time. She'll know she's quicker than the two in front, and she has a tyre advantage as well, or she will do in a few laps time. So yeah, she's just got to bide her time, hold position in third, and I think the race will come to her later on.
Yeah, so the top two already starting to pull away, with Tuman being chased by Riggs. I believe Riggs is still within a second of him, although the timing sheets are just about sorting themselves out now. So yeah, Tuman with another fastest lap, but Riggs is within a second of him, so he will get DRS next time round if he manages to keep within a second. We've got Clock going for the move on Kolka though, James. Down into turn one, he's got the move done, so the AlphaTauri up past the Renault. Kolka losing 3 positions now off the start, and clearly those medium tyres aren't quite working for her just yet. But give it a few laps, as you said, and I reckon they'll be in their window and Kolka will be able to make that time back. But as it stands, she has lost quite a bit of time already to the top two. And Clock, now that he's past Kolka, is definitely going to be on the charge, chasing after Riggsy and Tuman. And in fact, Tuman is, as it stands, out of DRS range of the McLaren behind. We've got Bland now and Brindy Boy both closing in on Kolka as well, as Kolka locks up into the hairpin. Won't do her tyres any favours either. Bunny is actually quite close to the back of Little Wiggy. Definitely keep an eye on Bunny if we don't do so ourselves. Just see how he's getting on, because he's the one of only 3 drivers on the hard compound tyres. So he'll be looking to make his tyres go all the way to the rain, should the rain arrive. And then we've got 36 seconds back. That's how much time JH, Jib Jab and Check all lost. So, well, without a safety car, they are very much dead and buried. You'd imagine JH getting another penalty as well for his troubles. So, yeah, it's not going well for JH.
I was going to say that's a big move for Clock, although he doesn't seem to have the pace to catch up to the top two. But, yeah, either way, I mean, Southerners is down in. Oh, as I say that, he's got past Liam on the straight. Liam, I think, made a bit of a mistake out of the final corner, and yeah, Southerners up into 8th, but 5 places and 11 points. It will lose out to Clock if it stays like this.
So interestingly enough as well, Bland running P5, he's only just over half a second off Colker, but he's only got about 20% of his ERS left. So, well, he's been a bit trigger happy, or he's been guzzling down that battery, and it doesn't seem to be really working.
Sorry, Harry.
Getting past Colker.
Colker's got past. Big mistake from Clock in Degner 2. I think he just missed his braking point and went in very deep. So that's made Colker's life a lot easier back up into P3.
Yeah, so Colker getting through, then getting the move done. Brindy Boy as well has gotten past Bland, so I don't know if Bland's made a bit of an error there. But as I mentioned, he's pretty low on the old ERS, so perhaps he just didn't quite have the ability to deploy the energy out of the hairpin, and he gets up on the curb there on the exit of Spoon, so that won't help his run down into 130R either. And now Brindy Boy looks like he might be going on the attack here. He's quite close to Clock, but in fact, no, it's going to be Bland going at the Mercedes, down the inside into the Casio triangle, late on the brakes, bit of a lock up on the front right, bit of contact made between the pair of them, but Bland's going to muscle his way through, I think, just about, gets past Brindy Boy. So the Haas, but the Mercedes is coming back at him now as they go down into turn 1. Bland moves to the inside to defend, and he is just going to keep the position ahead of Brindy Boy. Good battling between the pair of them, but this is allowing those behind, Lewis and Southerners, they're closing in, and there's a bit of a group there with Southerners all the way back to Bunny, Lewis and Southerners, sorry, all the way back to Bunny. So they're closing in now as well, and Colker is definitely in the window now with those mediums, nearly out of Clock's DRS already.
Good move that from Bland, rubbing his racing, as they say, and yeah, it was tight, but just about within the lines, I'd say. I was going to say as well, Harry, Bunny's looking pretty racy on these hard tyres. He's kind of a bit stuck behind Lil Wiggy, I'd say, who seems to be all over the shop. He's really struggling. Ooh. Yeah, Wiggy, I think his tyres must either be overheating or he's just got nothing left on him, and he's running extremely low on his ERS as well. So, yeah, I think Bunny could be eyeing up a move relatively soon.
Yeah, Predator's the other hards runner that's in the picture here is a little bit stuck, I think, behind the AI of Morgan. His gap's pretty similar to that of Bunny's to Wiggy. Is Bunny going to be able to go for the move here? I think he's just too far back, but you never know. Don't rule Bunny out, but he doesn't go for it here. Wiggy's loose, so Bunny on the 2 steps harder compound tyres, getting a much better exit out of the final corner. I think this is going to be a position swap here. The Renault past the McLaren, easy as you like, never really much of a challenge there from Wiggy, and Bunny is up into P10 and into the points.
Yeah, I've just seen Predators absolutely send one on Morgan's AI as well. To be fair, I'll be doing the exact same thing if there was an AI in my way. Just launch one at the inside and hope for the best. Riggs as well, Harry, has a slightly more ERS than Tooman, and he's almost within Tooman's DRS. Sorry, I should say. Liam picking up a penalty. Obviously, the penalty symbol now kind of gets rid of a little bit of the unknown towards the end of the race when we don't know who does and doesn't have penalties. Although we don't actually know how many penalties they have, as far as I'm aware. I guess we'll have to see if someone picks up another. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good for the drivers to know, because obviously you can see more penalties and how much they have, but maybe not the best for streaming.
Yeah, we've got Lewis now in the other Haas, right on the back of Brindy Boy. I said he was gaining on this little pack of ahead, and he's going to go for the move then. Going to go to the outside for the Casio triangle, but he's going to get the inside for the second part. Again, the Haas muscling its way past the Mercedes, but Brindy Boy getting a pretty nice exit, and it's going to have to be done down the second straight. Lewis is down to the bare bones of his ERS here, 1%, and it looks like that's going to hamper him, because Brindy Boy down the inside into turn 1 keeps the position. Good defending from him, but he runs slightly deep into the second part of the corner, and now they're going to be going side by side, but Lewis backs out. Smart driving from him. Didn't want to risk any sort of collision there, as it's only lap 7. and really there was no need to risk it. So smart driving from Lewis. And as you mentioned as well, I was just going to pick up on Rigsy and Tooman. Tooman's definitely deploying more of his battery than Rigsy. The gap has been around that 1.3, 1.2 mark now for the last few laps, really. So Rigsy's obviously not too bothered about getting into the DRS. He's just saving his battery and biding his time, I think.
As you say that, he's used quite a bit on the exit of the hairpin. But yeah, I think Riggs' engineer needs, down at McLaren, needs to get on the phone and tell him he's got a pretty, I was about to say pretty substantial ERS advantage, but after he used quite a bit, he gained a bit, and they're both absolutely rinsing it down this back straight.
Oh, Brindy Boy loses it on the exit of Spoon, and this is going to give Lewis the run now. But Lewis again has barely got any battery at his disposal, so it's going to be a difficult overtake. Should he be able to go for it? He's definitely got a good run though in the slipstream, the overspeed, but he taps the rear of the Mercedes trying to get round him. Brindy Boy defending well, and well, Lewis has had to sort of cheese the corner there to go for the move, but he is going to line it up now. He's picked up a penalty for his troubles, but he's gonna go for it. I think Brindy Boy is pretty much in the same boat actually in terms of their ERS deployment. So this time Lewis gets the move done, but it has cost him a penalty in the process. But he is up into P6 now, and Kolka on those mediums, fastest driver out on track.
Yeah, Southern pitting from P8 as well. It'll be crucial for him to get back out ahead of Liam, who's probably going to get a pretty tasty undercut. I think it's going to be close between the two. I think Liam's just going to get it.
And Liam's on the
side by side to turn one. Yeah, Liam just ahead. Liam on medium, so he'll be gambling on the rain, I should think, because yeah, that'll be a stretch to take the tyres that long. But yeah, just a quick note on Southerners as well. I was going to say I was really liking how he was driving that race. I'm not sure if it was completely down to tactics. It might have just been a little bit of a lack of pace, but he was just keeping it clean, keeping it on the track. P8 was going to be a pretty solid result for him, I should think, and yeah, I was liking this race so far. Just not taking any unnecessary risks, but yeah, as I said earlier, I think the race now is starting to come to Kolka in the Renault.
Lil Wiggy in the McLaren then just picking up the penalty, and look at how much Bunny's gained since getting past the McLaren. 4.5 seconds the Renault driver's gained, and Bunny is looking really strong in this race. In fact, he's catching up to softer runners now on his hard compound tyres, so I think this is definitely suggesting to me that the softs aren't really the best tyre to be on at this stage of the race, as Bunny's now got DRS on the 3 drivers in front of him. But Brindy Boy is having another look at Lewis down into turn 1. He's not going to be close enough this time round, but these two having a really good scrap out there, and Bland just about keeping ahead of the pair of them. So it's a great little battle between both the Hasses and Brindy Boy in the Mercedes.
Yeah, I think Lil Wiggy's just had a wing change in the pits. That might have been a bit of an explanation for his lack of pace earlier on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's changed his wings. He's lost a lot of time. Southern's kind of stuck behind Liam now from the looks of the timings. But yeah, Bunny, as you say, catching right up to him, Harry. I've just noticed the timings. He's very close. He's having a great race so far. He's really quick on these hards.
Oh, JH, things are going back to
he's
worse for JH, and 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. He puts on the hards. Lil Wiggy as well with that wing change. He's really dropped back. That's also released Predators, because Predators had just gotten up to the back of him. The gap between the top 3 isn't really changing massively, but this battle here for 5th place is really heating up, as Lewis is actually in a pretty nice position to go for a move on his teammate here. Are we going to see a bit of a civil war in the Haas garage, or are they going to play nice, the teammates? We've got a yellow flag set to 2. That's
Wiggy.
McLaren, a Lil Wiggy. Does seem to be struggling. Lewis backs out of the move, doesn't want to risk any contact with his teammate. We've got Rigsy, Tooman, Clock all in the pits, as does Bland. Bland pits, as does Brindy Boy.
Brindy spins so Bland spins the pits.
That's going to allow Bunny then to close up to Lewis. So it is going to be a Renault 1-2 in a couple of laps' time. Predators as well up into 3rd, or 4th, sorry, should I say. It will be a net P3 once Lewis has pitted. Morgan's AI is up into 5th, so good job from the AI, and it's got Tooman right behind.
Yeah, this will help out Riggs if he can
Morgan's
get
AI
a shift on.
Through Sector 1. Let's have a look at this then. How much is this going to cost Tooman? I reckon it's going to be quite a bit.
Could be a good second, because he's caught him at the complete wrong point. Yeah, it's already gone down half a second from when they came out the pits. It was 1.9.
go for a move as well is going to be into the hairpin, and by then Rigsy will probably have caught up to the back of him. Little Wiggy, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. He's having a torrid time, and he has retired, so he's called it a day. Toomant absolutely sends one on Morgan's AI there, and Morgan's AI doesn't know what to do. He's all over the shop on the exit, but Toomant has got the position made there.
Oh, someone's off.
Rigsy's going to be hounding it. Who's off? No,
they're not.
Mate.
I went on board with Predators and he was in the gravel at Spoon, and now he's just teleported halfway down the straight, so lag, it might be a bit of lag. I won't do anything about it just yet. If drivers start reporting he's lagging, then we might have to sort that one out. But yeah, Lewis in the pits, Renault 1-2 as you say, Eric. Oh, they're all speeding in the pits.
He's having a look. Riggsy was having a look there. I thought he was going to just absolutely launch one down the inside of Morgan, but he wasn't quite able to. Morgan does pit as well, or Morgan's AI. As does Lewis. So that has released Bunny now into second. So it is a Renault 1-2. Kolka out in front. Not really looked at her too much this race as Riggsy goes really deep and off the track there at turn 1. He's lost actually out. He's lost out a little bit to Toomant after all of this. But he's still in a pretty nice position. It's 5.5 seconds to Clock, who is the nearest car to him. Oh, the nearest car behind him, sorry. Nearest car behind him? Next car behind him. There we go. We'll get it eventually. And yeah, so other than that, there's a bit of a train now seemingly forming behind Liam, with Southerners, Bland, Brindy Boy, Lewis all involved in that. Although I haven't said that, Southerners the only driver in this group on the hards. Most guys are opting for the mediums. So Southerners is actually coming under a little bit of pressure from Bland, who's saved up quite a bit of his battery since getting past Brindy Boy. Lewis lost out as well quite a bit from having to go one lap longer on his soft compound tyres.
Wow. It's got to the stage now where Bunny is actually lapping quicker than Kolka on the hards.
Toomant with the fastest lap though, on a fresh set of mediums. And Bland's got a really good run out of the final corners. Clock now sets the fastest lap, but Bland's got the run on Southerners. But Southerners has got some really good straight line speed by the looks of things. Liam defenceless really into turn 1, but Southerners not quite close enough to go for the move. But Liam, or Southerners, sorry, should I say, had some really good straight line speed.
Bland's
but it was well defended once again from Liam. Liam's doing some really great defending so far. And wow, they're all really close together here as Brindy Boy sets the fastest lap. So Brindy Boy is also looking pretty quick out here. So they're all sort of tripping over one another, I can't help but feel. And it's kind of losing them a little bit of time, it has to be said. Toomant, in the meantime, is now right on the back of Predators, who's still yet to pit.
I think, just quickly talking about the lag situation with Predators, I think it's one of those where on stream it's pretty laggy, on board with him. But otherwise it's fine. Oh, something's happened there.
Oh, Liam's gone. Liam's gone on the exit of Spoon, so after I was bringing up how good his defending was, unfortunately he's just lost it at Spoon, so Liam is off. That's allowed Southerners through, so I wonder if now Southerners is going to show a bit of his pace. Predators pulls right to the right down the straight, and I think he's pretty much just let Toomant go there.
Yeah,
I think he knows that's not really his fight. Clock setting another fastest lap, and in fact, since we last mentioned it, Clock has gained a second on the McLaren of Riggsy. So Riggsy as well needs to catch up and get past Predators pretty quickly, because I fear that by the time Clock gets up to the back of the AlphaTauri, well, their teammates are a start, and I think Predators may have pitted by then. Toomant's gone! Toomant's gone and he's retired, and I can't actually see quite where his car is. There it is, it's on the inside of Dunlop. So that's now the second time in 3 weeks that Toomant has crashed out whilst being in a really strong position here. So, well, you can't help but feel for him, but it's another mistake that he just couldn't afford to make, really. And, well, the championship challenge is, dare I say it, looking pretty bleak now for Toomant. So that's given Rigsy now a net P2, and we've got a safety car. We've got full course safety car. We're going to see Kolka come in. I think she'll have to put the hards on.
Kolka had a blue pit icon on for this whole lap, so I think she might have been pitting either way. But yeah, as you say, she'll have to put the hards on.
Almost certainly going to come in for the hards. This is actually brilliant for Bunny, who's going to be able to pit and put the mediums on. Yeah, so this has really worked out well for Bunny.
He's going to...
Predators as well will be able to pit and go up into P4, 5. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. Rigsy might take the net race lead here. It's going to be tight with Kolka on the pit exit. He'll certainly be P2, and his tyres aren't even that old. Rigsy, and they're going to be going side by side, I think, into turn 1. Rigsy and Kolka.
Riggs has got it.
Rigsy gets it done. So Rigsy in the McLaren takes the net race lead, but Kolka, well, she's really quick. I can't imagine, even with the tyre advantage in Rigsy's favour, he'll be able to keep Kolka behind. Clock has also got past Bunny, but Bunny's on fresh mediums, so he's in a very good position now as well. So both the Renaults looking strong. Clock up to 3rd. We said he needed a good result, and he's going about it the right way.
Soon's in the pits. I think you're underestimating Rigsy here, Harry. Kolka couldn't get near him earlier when he was on the softs. I'm not underestimating
Rigsy. I'm not underestimating Rigsy. I just know how quick Kolka is.
I'll tell you what,
I fear that Rigsy might not have a chance to defend.
Unfortunately, as well, Tuman was the host and he's left the session, so I hope that doesn't affect the rest of this race. But to be honest, can't really blame him for leaving in that one.
Southern's had somewhat of a free pit stop anyway, actually.
Yeah, he did.
He's only lost a couple of positions from that anyway, and he was on the hard, so he was kind of out of sync with everyone else anyway. He's now been able to put on a fresh set of mediums, so he'll definitely be able to go to the end, regardless of whether the rain comes or not. So he's still in a pretty good position.
And Bunny's got to be a good bet for a win here, surely. He was good with Kolka on the hards. Seems to have unlocked a new level of race pace.
No bias at all, but I really hope that they don't trip over one another, the Renaults. We could do with the points for the Joy Constructors anyway. Neither of them are especially fighting for the championship, so if they're in that sort of position, I'd hate for them to trip over one another. I'd imagine the safety car is going to be out for another lap or so as Jib Chad picks up a time penalty under the safety car. That's not really ideal for him.
Just as he got himself caught back up. How many points is Clock behind Sullivan?
Good question. Speak about something for a minute and I'll find out.
Well, I'm just having a look now, but I was just kind of wondering. I think it's about 30 odd points, but I mean, as it stands, he's gaining 14.
Close.
So
I mean, JH, who's about, I think JH is 6th or 5th in the championship, and he's only about 50 odd points behind the lead anyway. Yeah,
he's not having a great race. So. Clock is 37 points behind, but I mean, he's kind of halving that to some extent. He'll gain 14 points, which I'm sure he'd be very happy about. That put him into P2 ahead of McEwen. Put him right into the championship fight if it stayed how it is right now. Although only just over halfway in this race, so plenty of time for that all to change, of course. I'm now getting the message that Preds is lagging. It looks alright to me though, so no, it doesn't. It doesn't look great. If someone wants to tell me what I'm supposed to do about that, I'd like to know, because I'd hate to just ask him to leave, but I think that's what might happen.
It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. Alright then, here we go. Safety cars coming in this lap. So we're going to get back underway. The action will resume. And it's going to be Rigsy in the McLaren to take us away on this restart. Gets a brilliant run out of the final corner, does Rigsy. So he's not going to be under any pressure anytime soon. And in fact, Colker might be under some pressure on the harder compound tyres. Clock is right behind her.
And Southern is looking up the inside of Preds into turn 1.
Oh, Lewis and Brindley Boy going side by side into turn 1. Lewis gets the move done, but it comes at a cost for Brindley Boy, who gets pushed out wide slightly and gets a penalty. So, well, Lewis mussing his way through, doing what his teammate did to Brindley Boy there to get past. And he does get up into P6 as Lewis. We've got quite a few drivers now on penalties.
Yeah, I was just going to say Riggs already over a second ahead of Colker. That's crucial because that means no DRS for Colker. Clock and Bunny in hot pursuit, as is Bland actually. He seems to be quite racy on this restart. Something's happened there.
Oh, Sumner's and Checker back then.
Yeah, I think.
Tell you what, I'd love to know if this rain is coming.
Well, you think with the clouds are getting quite, they're starting to get grey, but with the safety car, that would probably mean the rain will come earlier than it was first predicted. But we're going to get Preds out of the race. Yeah.
Fortunately for Colker, the problem that she's got is that the mediums aren't really going to be going off until right at the end of the race, especially for Bunny. Bunny's on fresh mediums. Even Riggs and Clock, their mediums won't really be too bad, even at the end of the race. We've got Brindley Boy now coming back at Lewis. These two have been going at it all race and they're carrying on. And Predators has unfortunately had to retire.
I hate
so
doing
that's
that.
really unfortunate for him.
I hate doing that, but I mean, if you can't race him, you can't race him, can you? It's just unfortunate.
I guess especially with ghosting off, you can't really take any risks.
Absolute fair play to him though. As soon as I sent him the party invite, he was straight in the pits to retire. So yeah, extremely thoughtful of everyone else. But yeah, I mean that's just, yeah, I don't like doing that at all. But just one of those things, isn't it? Ooh, big lock up, I should say, from Colker there. On the hards as well, she's doing a great job to keep the chasing pack behind. They're all snapping at her heels really, but she's keeping it together so far. Clock goes wide at Spoon, but I think he'll get away with that. Lots of drivers with penalties in this midfield pack.
Yeah, the problem that the Renaults are going to have actually is that Colker's effectively going to have Clock in her DRS, and it means that Bunny's going to find it difficult to get past the Alpha Tauri. Yes, Southerners in P9 is actually in a net P5 after penalties have been resolved, so he's in actually a really nice position as it stands. Clock gets a very good run though out the final corner, and I wonder with DRS enabled now if he's going to have a go at the Renault of Colker into turn 1.
He's low on energy.
He's thinking about it. He definitely had a little look at the inside, but he wasn't close enough.
Your mic's going a bit,
mate. Didn't go for the move.
Your mic's crackling, a lot of static.
Alright, hang on, give me a sec. Is that better?
But he's practically pushing Clock around the first sector.
Southerners as well, James setting the fastest lap, and he's now starting to get held up by Liam. Liam's lost DRS to those in front. He is on very old tyres as well, though, it has to be said, is Liam. So he will have a bit of a pace deficit compared to those around him, I think, just because of the tyres more than anything. Clock is still right on the back of Colker, as he has been ever since the restart. Brindley Boy and Lewis are still going at it as well. This has been a really great battle between the pair of them. They've been going at it all race. Both pretty low. Lewis has used pretty much all his ERS as well in 2 laps. Not going to be close.
Doing a good job.
Let's go for a move or anything now.
Yeah, Rick's doing a good job just to keep out of, just to keep the DRS.
I'll tell you what, James.
He's close.
Liam, I think, has just snagged some DRS from those in front. But I don't think it's going to matter because Southerners has got a really great run out the final corner. Gets the move done nice and early. So Southerners up to P8. Colker with the fastest lap on the hard compound tyres. I told you she'd be quick once you got those hards going. So here we go then. They're obviously up to temperature now. They're in the window. And I think Colker is definitely going to be chasing down Riggsy now to try and get that race lead back. Riggsy's used quite a lot of his ERS as well.
Like piranhas, aren't they? Just snacking at each other's heels. Ooh, Colker makes a big mistake. They're all so close to each other and they're all hunting down Riggs. He's probably going to feel quite vulnerable at the moment, losing time to Colker. And Colker's just helping to pull these guys along.
Bland gets a penalty. Bland gets really loose. On the exit is Spoon. And now I think it's going to be a three-way fight. Lewis going for the move on his teammate. They're going to be going side by side into 130R. We'll stay on board with Brindy as he's going to get a really good view of this. Lewis thinks about it, thinks better of it. But this is going to hamper the pair of them now as Brindy's got the run. Lewis to the outside at the Casio triangle. And they're going to be tripping over one another here as I feared teammates might. So here we go then. Brindy, with the run out of the final corners. Lewis gets a bit loose on exit. Bland's actually giving Brindy the DRS. And Brindy's going to go for the double move. Up against the pit wall, what an overtake from Brindy, and now Lewis gets one on his teammate as well. They're going side by side. Oh, the Haas is through the first corner. Lewis gonna have the inside to the next corner, but they're gonna stick it out. Contact made. Lewis onto the grass, just about getting away unscathed, but the two Hasses going at it. The big winner out of that is Brindy Boy. The big losers, both the Hasses going at it, tripping over one another, and well, losing 2 positions, 1 each, and that was not great. I think Gunter might be slamming his desk after that. Because, well, that was not good from the Haas pair. Just going at it with one another. Tripping over each other.
There we go then. All aboard the Riggs train. It's kind of amazing to say that though, because Riggs is probably one of the quickest guys in this race.
Oh, they're going back at it. They're going back at it, James. They're going back at it. The Hasses down into Spoon. Oh no, they're going to... I fear the worst here, it has to be said. Not because of anything malicious, but just the how close they are to one another. So Lewis is going to have another go into 130R.
He's just biding his time in the background as well. Still got the majority of his ERS left.
Bunny and Clock are going at it as well. There we go then. Lewis gets back up ahead of his teammate Colker with another fastest lap. Bunny's got a really good run on Clock. They're going to be going for it. Going at it into turn 1. Bunny's got basically no ERS left. Taps the rear end of Clock and not quite able to go for a move at this point. And now Southerners and Lewis are going at it. Bland's gone off somewhere. I didn't quite see it. I didn't quite catch it. But Bland has lost a position to Southerners.
Yeah, it was nice there from Southerners. He backed out of a move at the inside into turn 1, which was smart of him because I think that could have been his car in the wall, and then let Bland do the work. He went out wide, and Southerners popping it up the inside into turn 2 and getting the move done.
Southerners in a great position now to get Lewis as well. He's got 5 times the amount of ERS. As the Haas driver's check gets a penalty as well. So Southerners the only driver now outside of the top 5 without a penalty. Outside the top 4, sorry, without a penalty. But still in this race. Those top 4 though separated by a second and a half pretty much, as they have been ever since this safety car restart. Is Southerners going to go for a move, do you think, into 130R? He's got 70% nearly ERS saved up. Someone needs to tell him that Lewis is on the minimum, bare minimum really. Not going to be able to go for it this time round. Bunny again close to the back of Clock, but with the AlphaTauri getting the DRS, he's not going to be in a position to go for a move anytime soon. So here we go then, Southerners with the DRS, not really using much of his battery. Has a little look at the inside, but was never close enough to go for the move, so he's just going to settle in for now. He'll know that Lewis and Brindy Boy both have penalties, and I think given the gap that the top 4 have to Brindy Boy, it's looking as though 5th is probably the best that the championship leader can manage here, but that's going to be 10 valuable points to him if that's what he can get.
We're going to see him move for the lead soon as well. Harry Colker's right on the back of Riggs now, and she has more ERS as well, which is crucial around here because it's obviously so hard to save.
You know what's going to happen though, don't you? Oh, check down the inside, Bland into the hairpin. forces his way through, but it's a really good move. Daniel Ricciardo-esque from, check this out, up into P8 now in the Red Bull. And you know what's going to happen. As soon as I go off this Southerners-Lewis battle, we're going to see Southerners get past him. And then we'll go on to the leaders and, you know, it will all just go to pot in a minute. But I am going to go. I am going to go to Kolka because she is very close to the back of Riggsy, and Southerners has lost a little bit of time to Lewis in that middle sector. So here we go then.
I was just going to quickly say as well, Czech's having a good race. I mean, obviously the safety car helped him, but he got really unlucky at the start, and to get back up into P8, he's doing a really good job. Now, Kolka's too far back.
Yeah, Riggsy got a really good run out of the final corner there. So those mediums still working well on the traction. Absolutely. Yeah, of course he does. There we go then. Pardon me. Racing Point then up into P number 6. And he's within a second of Brindy as well. Just up the road.
JH got past Jib Jab somewhere in that last lap as well. I've just noticed because he wasn't 12th the last time I looked. Riggs doing a good job so far of holding these guys up behind him.
Yeah, he
seems to be holding the pressure.
He got a really good run, did Riggs, out of the final corner. Whether that's down to a bit of pad traction, those medium tyres, who knows what. Bit of black magic, I don't know. But Riggs with a really good run out of the final corner. Despite having pretty much no ERS, he was able to defend very nicely there from Kolka. Bunny is right on the back of Clock yet again, within 2/10 of him as they go down into Spoon. But he's going to lose a bit of time through the double left-hander with a bit of the dirty air kicking in. But he's, again, pretty close. Clock, I imagine, has got some ERS. Not as much as I thought he might, but he's got about the same amount as Bunny, so it's not going to be an easy move for the Renault driver should he attempt one. Clock locks up though into the Casio triangle, and that might give Bunny the run out of the final corner, but Clock gets a very good exit out of that final corner.
Riggs got an even better one. I think he pulled about 2/10 from Kolka. That'll be more than enough to keep her behind for another lap at least.
Bunny's getting bored here. I think he's getting a bit frustrated because he kind of had a little wiggle down the straight there. I'd imagine he's getting a little bit frustrated. JH is as well now past Liam. Pushing
Your mic's going again, mate.
Oh, classic right. Oh, Lewis gets
picking up a pen. I believe that's his second. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a Red Bull yellow flags. Check this out. Something's happened. We got a VSC for no reason, seemingly, because no one's retired. I saw the yellow flags and a Red Bull going kind of slowly on the mini map, so I did get passed by Bland as well. So I wonder if he just had a bit of a moment at Dunlop. So this is really going to be trying to save up as much ERS as you can in order to try and go for a move on the guys around you.
And don't speed.
And don't speed. So Riggsy's got 3 laps then to hold on. Oh, as Bland gets a drive through. I think I saw someone else get one as well, but I'm not sure. And Bunny's past Clock. And Bunny's past Clock.
Yeah. Kolka's right on the back of Riggs as well.
But yeah, just on the telemetry there, we just saw Bunny getting up past Clock, so it's a Renault 2-3, but they're still going at it. Bunny and Clock. Kolka's not going to be close enough. And the rain, here it is. Here's the rain with 3 laps to go. Better late than never as Clock having a look round the outside into turn 1. Backs out of it. Bunny defends well. Lewis has pitted quite early, so I wonder if he had a drive through as well. And he has just sped as well into the pits.
Check out damage. He's going on to the inters, taking a gamble. He's got nothing to lose, I guess. Rain's coming down really heavily, actually, Harry, in quite a short space of time. I was going to say as well, we haven't had the rain yet, and here it comes. And if Riggs wins this race, it'll be down to his super exits. He's just gained so much time, and that's crucial, really, because otherwise I think Kolka will be close enough to get past. I think they might pit already this lap, you know, Harry, for inters, judging by how fast the rain's coming down.
Can't help but feel this is going to play into Bunny's hands. He's on fresher tyres and softer tyres than Kolka, and fresher tyres than Riggsy. He's already gaining on Kolka. Now the question is, with only 2 laps left, do you gamble and stay out? Would you lose enough time, do you think, if you pitted? It's not wet enough yet, surely. The track's not wet at all.
No, but around a track like Japan, where there's just so many fast corners, you need all the grip you can get.
Look at Czech on the telemetry there. on the timing screens. He's losing time
Yeah,
hand
he
over
might be
fist to
struggling now.
Lewis there. Surely
Yeah,
it's not gonna be
it's
worth
probably
it.
not going to be wet enough, is it?
Colker might struggle though on the hards for the grit. As well, again she struggles on the exit. As Bunny struggles on the
Bunny,
exit.
huge
Bunny's
moment.
round. He's
Oh,
into
no.
the wall. Wing gone for Bunny. Just a bit too eager on the traction. So Bunny is into the wall, and that's going to be his race over pretty much, as he's got to do a whole
He was
lap
having
with
such
no
a good
front
race as
wing.
well.
That is really unfortunate for Bunny. What a shame that is for the Renault driver.
Sona's going to get fourth out of all of this as well, eh? So he's barely going to lose out anything in the championship.
Don't speak too soon. We've got a couple of laps to go just yet, and we've got yellow flags. That's Bunny again.
Yeah, that's Bunny again. Liam's gone on to the inters. Lewis is struggling on the softs now. I think the inters might be coming into play. Colker right on the back of Riggs. Gap went down to about 2/10, but I think she was just a tad too far back to send one into the
They're
hairpin.
going to be tiptoeing round for the last
Here
lap
comes
and a
Clock
half.
as well, alright. Closing in again.
So then Riggsy coming out of spoon. Yeah, Bunny's
More yellow
just
flags.
completely
Yeah,
ruined,
that's
I
Bunny
think.
again. I think his tyres are shot. He's got no wing. Yeah, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, Colker's unfortunately just not able to get the traction that she wants. But Riggsy goes deep there into the Casio triangle, and Colker's going to get a really good run out the final corner. This could be it. This could be the chance that she needs. She's going to have the DRS, and I think Riggsy at
she
the
might do
final
it
hurdle was just
on the
falling
last
here.
lap.
Bit of a
Just the
mistake,
DRS
and Colker's going to go
failed.
for the move round the outside into turn one, but she goes deep, and she picks up a penalty.
Oh, she's got a penalty.
She's got a penalty. So Riggsy doesn't even need to go for the move now. We'll probably have seen that. So Riggsy now one lap to hold on without getting a warning and without losing the car in these treacherous conditions here. Oh, he's having a look.
trying it
He's having a
anyway.
go. He's having a go
God.
through the
What a
first
move if he
sector,
pulls this off.
through the S's. They're going to go side by side round the Dunlop curve. Oh, this is horrible.
You don't need to do this.
Barely look. I can barely look. But they just about
Yeah,
make
he's
it
backed
through
out.
there. Riggs backed out in the end. Smart driving. And they're going pretty
Oh
slowly
my
now out on the
God.
track.
Check spinned it and he's on the
Oh,
inters.
Colker's losing it. They're all off everywhere. They're off left, right and centre.
Oh
Is anyone going to
my
finish the race?
God.
We got
Liam's on the inters, Harry. Liam's
Liam's
OP on the inters.
Liam's going
Getting
to
in loads of
snag
time.
some points at the end. Imagine if Liam would. Right then. Riggsy basically just needs to hold on to this P2, and it's going to be a win for Riggsy. His maiden
Slipping past Grindy.
SLR win, and Colker goes deep again. Bunny's just completely cheesed the final couple of corners, but he's kind of dead and buried in this race anyway. So then, as we go down the back straight for the final time,
Oh my God! Imagine 130R.
oh, they're just crawling round. It's going to be SLR Colker, I believe, is going to win it on track, but I don't want to speak too soon. Hang on, we'll wait a second. On the
Wait till they cross the
traction,
line.
oh, they're all over the shop. Colker's losing it. It's going to be Riggsy to win his first race in SLR, followed by Sotty Clock in P2. Colker comes home third in the end. Southerners P4, so the championship leader, getting a nice haul of points. JH fifth, Brindy Boy sixth, Jib Jab, after all of that, comes home seventh. Liam is eighth,
JH got
I
fifth.
believe, although we've
Well,
not quite
six
finished.
now, but JH ended at 6. He was dead and buried
Jib
after
jab,
that one with a
P7.
drive through.
Liam comes home eighth. It's going to be Bland, I think, in ninth, although they're still going at it here. Check on the inters. He's on the better tyres now. Through 130R. Is he going to go for it?
Check's
Is he going to send
got-
it?
Damn it! Yeah, Check's missing half his wings. He crashed last lap.
Oh,
What a
no,
crazy
here
end
we
to
go.
this race.
It's the two Hasses. They're back together again, as they have been for most of the race.
Surely Check's gonna get them both.
Loose on the exit, check round the outside.
Round
of
the
curve, on
outside.
the grass.
Oh, there's
they're all
Lewis
going
as
at
well.
it. They crossed the line, and I think Check actually got P9 in the end. But what a race! Absolutely brilliant from start to finish. And wow, right at the end, just to throw a spanner into the works, the rain came down. But it was Riggsy X to take his maiden SLR win. Brilliant drive from Rigsy, it has to be said, and I'm sure everyone will be loving that one. I, for one, certainly very, very pleased for Rigsy. Unfortunate for Bunny, who was in a very good position but fell just to the final hurdle. Kolka, with that penalty on the last lap, demoted to P3, and she did not deserve that because she had some really great pace. But I guess you can't have everyone winning. Clock comes home P2 to remain in the championship fight. Southerners P4, that is a really good result for Southerners, all things considered. 12 points for him, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. In the end, it was the Mercedes of Brindy Boy to come home P5 with JH in 6th, 14 seconds of penalties, so he gets away with that one somewhat. Jib Jab comes home 7th after 2 stopping and starting last. Then it was Liam who pitted late for the Inters in 8th. Czech, with the fastest lap and a 3-stop strategy, actually comes home 9th. So that's a pretty good recovery from him. And then it was Bland with the final points paying position in P10. Lewis and Bunny both classified. Bunny obviously retiring in the pits late on. The only other retirements were Predators, who unfortunately had to leave due to connection. Morgan, whose AI drove the majority of the race, but apparently DNF'd anyway. Tooman was 15th. Obviously, he brought out the safety car when he crashed at Dunlop. And Lil Wiggy also retired early on. We have got 2 of the top 3 in the party, I believe, James.
Yeah. Kolka doesn't join because I don't think her English is great, but we'll do the usual and just summarise. Yeah, it's Rigsy, I think.
I can't complain with that one. I can't complain.
Not at all.
So we have got the top 2 in the party. Congratulations to the pair of you, and I'll let Jam take it away for the interviews.
I was just gonna do the usual and just sort of summarise Kolka's race. I think she might send a message, so I'll have a look out for that. But yeah, great result from Kolka. I think finally getting a result that she deserves for pace that she's shown. Getting pole by 6/10, and then looking good for a win for so long in that race. But then Riggs with some great defending, and then that penalty on the last lap just cost her, unfortunately. But yeah, either way, a great race from Kolka, and finally some points that she deserves. But we'll move swiftly on to Clock, who's ended up P2 in this race. I'm sure that'll be a very, very pleasing result. We said earlier on in the stream that we think you like Japan. You'll probably like it even more after this one.
Yeah, I'm just ecstatic. I've also just realised that I've overtaken Presto and Freeman in the all-time point standing. So I'm fucking first there as well. I'm buzzing honestly over that. Even though I'm only 7 points out of Freeman, who's going to race on Sunday, I'm still going to be first for at least 2 days. And I'm just so happy. And I mean, that race, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I was just trying to take care of myself because I did 2 laps on them in qualifying. So they were pretty bad. I got ahead of Kolka, but I made a mistake and she got back, and the race came into my hands when Bunny spun, actually, because I kind of was just not quick enough really, but I was consistent enough to keep on track. And then when it started grading, everything happened at once, and I was suddenly at the back of Riggs and Kolka, and I don't know. I mean, Riggs was sitting in the same part of me, begging me not to overtake him. Just when we saw Kolka got a podium, and when Kolka got a penalty, it was, I don't know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. So, as you said, yeah, the now most successful driver in the history of SLR in terms of points. You've gained 6 on Southerners, which was looking like it was going to be more for a majority of that race, but even so, it's a gain nonetheless. I think you're 31 points behind now, something like that, with 4 races to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's still a chance of the championship? Yeah, because you're coming good in these last few rounds.
I mean, as long as it's mathematically possible, I won't give up, but I need to make the most of my pace. For the whole season, I brought in a lot of points by just being consistent and picking up podiums where others have made mistakes, just as I did today. And if that can continue, I might have a shot, but yeah, I need to really be on top of my game and see what happens. But as long as it doesn't end like last year, I'll be perfectly happy with it.
Well, yeah. Either way, we've witnessed something truly special tonight in more ways than one. We've got now Sochi O'Clock, the most successful driver in SLR history in terms of points. Even if it is just for a couple of days, either way, he's the first to have broken Presto's total, which has been unmatched for quite some time now. So yeah, clocking P2, 18 points takes him to the top of the all-time standings, and we'll now move on to our race winner, first ever win in SLR. Riggs qualified in third, got a great start, and then just capitalised on that mistake from Tooman. Got just ahead of Colker after that safety car, which ultimately won you the race, I'd say. But yeah, how are you feeling after that one, buddy?
I've got nothing to say. I don't really. I was the same as Clock. Absolutely nothing to say. Qualifying was surprisingly quite strong. Didn't really care what MD's pace was going to be. So to see it, I was kind of like in the mid pack, and I was kind of like, all right, that's just kind of to be expected. And then the final run of Q3 got me up to P3, not equaled my best. So I was quite chuffed with that. Step was fine. There was like it was strange because I was at least keeping up with two man in the first stint. That was like as soon as you kind of got a bit closer, it was quite hard to kind of deal with the air, and every time you got close enough, like either he put a 10 foot or I'd lost a 10 foot, I gained a 10, he lost it. So it was a bit like kind of just like trying to keep the pace. Safety, I could probably agree with the safety car. I think to be fair, I was just watching the mini map when the safety car came out, and I thought she was just gonna get it, but no, I think that is ultimately what it was because the restart was quite strong for myself, and I just kind of wanted to get away as much as I could and hope that Coca kind of would hod Clock and Bunny and Brindy Boy and everybody else up at the back, and just hope we could put a gap.
Yeah, well, it's performance worthy of drive for the day, and I'm pleased to announce that's what you've been awarded by the viewers as well.
Oh, thanks. I really don't know what else to say because it was just absolutely intense, especially when the tyres weren't feeling too great either near the end because I was starting to lose pace and like lose confidence in the tyres, and I was on one woman for a pen, so I was quite close to completely ruining it. So, and then when as Clock was saying, I was in the same plate as him, and as soon as the rain started hitting, I kind of panic a wee bit because I knew my tyres were absolutely like done anyway. Like, and that final lap was just intense. I didn't expect Coca to actually go for it. Like, I got a bad exit. It was just about ERS management off the final corner to make sure she wasn't going to get a run into turn one, and I felt like that was quite well considering that we had basically nothing left. So ERS management was all kind of poor thing for myself, and the final lap was just intense with really done tyres. The weather getting worse, and Coca just trying to go around the side by side through the S's and up in the hairpin and everything else. It was quite intense. As soon as Clock shouted that she had a pen, I was just like, I'll just back off. I'm no putting myself in there. Keep my car on the track and just keep it in the right direction. But just a big thanks to everybody. It feels really weird to win again. It really is. It's been a wee while. And never honest. I could have come out of this race and says I just want points. I didn't want the full lot. Well, it is nice. So I'm absolutely buzzed with that. My words are just absolutely nailer. They're all escaping me now, so it's quite hard to kind of give you an accurate like description of how I'm feeling because I'm absolutely buzzed.
Could we say
Yeah.
the rust has now well and truly come off, Riggs? If you know, you know.
Oh, I'm still a bit rusty, but we'll see how the next races go. It's just about finishing the season on a high. I need to look at the standings once they're updated and everything else, just to kind of see what we can realistically aim for, and then potentially focus on the next season. But aye, the rust is well and truly starting to fade. Come on, let's go! Oh.
So then,
Yeah.
massive congratulations to Riggsy on his maiden win in SLR, and to Sochi O'Clock for breaking the all-time points record, both in the same race. So that's a pretty nice way to go out It was an
One for the
action-packed
history books, isn't it?
Japanese Grand Prix that I'm sure will go down in SLR folklore as one of the great all-time races. Southerners P4 extends his championship lead crucially, so that's definitely something of note for him, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased with his P4. Colker P3 rounded out the podium and set an absolutely blistering lap time to take pole position. But that is all we've got time for this evening. Be sure to join us throughout the weekend for the various other divisional races we've got going on, and of course be sure to join Gemini next week 9 p.m. for Division 1 USA, I want to say, or is it Mexico?
Yes, US Grand Prix.
USA. So we've got the US Grand Prix coming up next week. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on the stream, and I'd like to thank Brixie and Clock for joining us for the interviews. But that is all we've got time for. So thank you and good night.